We are now just 137 days away from the official release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be, well, a revelation movie. It's going to serve as a movie that will provide tons of twists and turns and revelations that'll change our view of the past 8 Star Wars movies. And what's really great about that is that we do know that this movie is going to be very important by Disney, Lucasfilm, and even the Star Wars community around the entire world. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, a description of Rey traveling into the Land of Warriors, where it's described that she is looking for a place called the Lake of Dreams. It said that as Rey makes her way through a series of catacombs, she finds her way to the location that's said to be vital for her development as a character in the film. Additionally, it's described that as Rey lays down in the water and meditates, it's said that she begins to link with a far older version of Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost, where in the sequence Anakin goes on to reveal to Rey a couple of revelations related to her. It said that one of the scenes involves Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost, revealing to Rey that she holds a connection to the Beyond, which is the key to the origins of the dark and the light side of the Force. It said that Anakin explains to Rey that she is not only a virgin in the Force, but also serves as a conduit of the Beyond itself. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because we do know that Episode 9 is going to be a very complex story when it comes to the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren and how they're going to progress from start to finish. And what I like about this particular scenario is that this is a moment in which a legacy character, or a prequel trilogy character, if you will, gets to shine, and really shows Rey a specific moment in her life where she's able to realize that she has this certain power, that she is what she is in this particular moment, that she is a virgin in the Force, and even holds a conduit to the Beyond itself within herself. So, in case you guys did not know, the Beyond is going to be a major piece of the Episode 9 story. We're still not quite sure exactly what or where the Beyond really is. It could be a different dimension, or a different realm, or a different galaxy for all we know. But on top of all of this, this version of Anakin Skywalker that's said to communicate with Rey is said to be a far older version of Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost that tells her these revelations related to her, that she is not just a virgin in the Force, which is basically a Force nexus or a concentration of the Force itself, but she's also a conduit to the Beyond itself. Now, the Beyond is going to be a very vital piece to not only Palpatine's role, but also to, of course, the Knights of Ren and the Dark Acolyte, who, by the way, is going to be possessed by the Sith spirit of Darth Sidious. Now, on top of all of this, we do know that J.J. Abrams and George Lucas, they were heavily involved in the rewrites for Episode 9. You know, they were really trying to adjust the second and third acts of the film to really make this a very unique and authentic Star Wars film within the Skywalker saga. So the thing that really excites me about this is that not only is it heavy on the Jedi and the Force lore, but they're also adding a different medium of Star Wars within The Rise of Skywalker. In case you guys did not know, J.J. Abrams has this big plan to use The Rise of Skywalker as a foundation to create new content. And we're talking about, building towards something larger, in the forms of books, novels, comics, video games, TV series, and maybe even future movies at that. This movie will serve as a foundation for brand new Star Wars lore that goes beyond, lightsabers and holocrons and kyber crystals and everything around those lines. We're going to see new types of material entering into Episode 9 that's really going to change our view of not just the sequel trilogy, but the entire Star Wars franchise. So the Lake of Dreams, we've actually discussed this a couple of weeks ago. The Lake of Dreams is going to be an ancient area based within the Lost City itself, where Rey actually goes to this location to learn certain truths about her past through the help of the Force Ghosts of Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which, by the way, may very well link directly up with why we heard Obi-Wan Kenobi's Force Ghost voice in The Force Awakens, where he says, "Rey, these are your first steps." Now, in case you guys did not know, they will be explaining why we heard Obi-Wan Kenobi reaching out to Rey in Episode 9. They're going to pick up on that form of dialogue and exactly what it really meant in, of course, The Rise of Skywalker. So the last thing that I really want to touch on here that I think a lot of people are very curious about is of course the far older version of Anakin that's said to be communicating with Rey during this scene. Now this is said to be a brand new version of Anakin Skywalker, far older than we have ever seen him before in the Star Wars franchise, as if he is 70 plus years old. And I'm not quite sure how a lot of fans are going to react to that by making an older version of Anakin, communicating with the sequel trilogy character. I think that at the end of the day, creating a new version of Anakin, as long as they stay true to the original Anakin look, just older, I think fans won't have a big issue with it, but at the same exact time, they gotta stay true to the character of Anakin Skywalker without a doubt. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.